First of all, I would like to say thank you to Second Commerce for making this lecture in Second Life possible. Hello and welcome to my lecture, Multiple Intelligences and Development of Giftedness in Virtual Environments. My name is Roya Klingner. I am head and founder of Bavarian Center for Gifted and Talented Children. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about these topics: theory of multiple intelligences, multiple intelligences theory in my second life, virtual world versus real world, learning in the 21st century for gifted children, second life as a virtual learning environment, and at last a short briefly summary. The theory of multiple intelligences was developed in 1983 by Dr. Howard Gardner, professor of education at Harvard University. It suggests that the traditional interpretation of intelligences based on IQ testing is far too limited. Dr. Gardner proposes 8 different intelligences to account for a broader range of human potential in children and adults. These intelligences are verbal linguistic like poet, logical mathematical scientist, musical rhythmic like a composer, visual spatial like an architect, bodily kinesthetic like a dancer, interpersonal like a leader, intrapersonal like a reflective individual, and at last naturalistic like a botanist. Dr. Gardner says that our schools and culture focus most of their attention on linguistic and logical mathematical intelligence. He says that we should also place equal attention on individuals who show gifts in the other intelligences, like the artists, architects, designers, and so on, and others who enrich the world in which we live. Here are some examples in history. Spatial intelligences, like, for example, Vincent van Gogh. Musical intelligence, like Mozart. Logical mathematical, like Pascal. Linguistic intelligence, like Shakespeare. Bodily kinesthetic, like Pavlov's. Naturalist, like Einstein. Interpersonal social experiences, like Nelson Mandela. And intrapersonal self-reflection, like Dalai Lama. Now let me tell you briefly about my experience in Second Life, which began on November 1st, 2003. As I came to Second Life, I didn't know anything about 3D programs or a virtual world like this before. I asked myself where I had landed. So I started to ask people around Second Life, visited events, and read instructions. In this way, I learned about Photoshop, texturing, modeling, building, event management, and more. However, my first intention to start Second Life was to improve my English. I met a lot of gifted avatars, behind which there were very gifted and talented people in real world as well. For example, I met Phillip Linden, which he is the founder of Linden Lab, and in real world his name is Philip Rosedale. Rosedale. And the second person, a very gifted and creative person, Chip Midnight. He is in Second Life a fashion designer, and in real world his name is Chip Matthews, and he's a freelance animator, a 3D designer as well. And the next one, Sinatra Carter. His avatar is a great builder, designer, scripter, musician, and in real world, his name is Rick Ellis. He's a musician. Now, what are the differences between real world and virtual world? What is a virtual world? A virtual world is a kind of online community that often takes the form of a computer-based simulated environment through which users can interact with one another and use and create objects, virtual worlds, and intended for its users to inhabit and interact. And the term today has become largely synonymous with interactive 3D virtual environments, where the users take the form of avatars visible to other graphically. There are some things in virtual world impossible and in real world not. Something like imagination, dreaming, possibilities like flying in Second Life, or to live our creativity and global networking.